Alright, welcome to Kingdom Death. This is a mod by Mr. Scraps, I think his name was. Uh, this is the best mod I found for TTS. I own the physical game and it's set up on my dining room table right now. I've been playing a campaign with my friend on the weekends. It's a big game. This is kind of a survival horror genre, so some things will happen. Lots of people will die. It's not a game for the faint of heart. If you like just building up one character, this isn't the game for you. You're actually building a settlement of people, and your settlement will most likely get wiped out. It's the story of what happens to that settlement, really. So we're going to look at the story. I'm going to start a Prologue Lion fight. We're going to set up our campaign before we start the fight, of course. And then we're going to see how far in the campaign we can actually get before we die off. Hopefully we win. That would be awesome. But you never know. It's all in the dice sometimes, and other times you just get lucky. Or if you have good enough strategy and you're better than me at this, then then you might do well. Let's go ahead and look at the story first, and then we're going to go set up our campaign and go into the prologue. Once upon a time, there was a place of carved stone faces. A man with a lantern lay sleeping a dreamless sleep. The man knew nothing. One day the man woke up. He rubbed the dried ink caked over his eyes and opened them. Around him he saw people stirring, and beyond, a horizon of unbroken darkness. A woman approached the man with the lantern. Her soft hand reached out to him. They had no words. They were a mystery to each other. Suddenly, a monster emerged from the darkness, its eyes wild with hunger. It attacked. The people were no match for the monster. It tore their flesh and crushed their bones between its teeth. Some it devoured whole. Overcome with terror and grief, the man with the lantern collapsed to the ground. Cold stone noses pushed into his side. There was no escape. But the man didn't want to die. Desperately grasping at the cold stone faces, he felt a crack and tore at it with all his might. A piece of stone came free. It was sharp and deadly. The man with the lantern scrambled to his feet, his weapon clenched in his fist. He took a deep breath and roared into the darkness. Somewhere, in the place of stone faces, nameless men and women stand together. They have nothing but the need to survive and a lantern to light their struggle. As the game stands right now, you're always fighting the White Lion first. I believe when the Crimson Crocodile comes out, there'll be a story where you can fight him first. So the base story there, we're going to be doing a basic campaign. So I'm going to go to campaign here. We're going to be doing the People of the Lantern. The other ones just kind of change up what events you have and what the ending's going to be like. We're just doing the base. We are going to add some expansions here because, well, I played the base game a lot. I own all these expansions, so I'm going to pick some of the ones that I play the least. Definitely picking Spider Kills because this one here, this miniature is just really hard to get onto the table. I think it's going to be much easier in TTS here to actually use it. So I'm happy to throw that in. I don't fight the Lion God very often, so I'm going to put him in. I usually either go Sunstalker or Dragon King for one of my later hunts. So I'm going to put that in there to go that route. The Lion Knight's kind of interesting, but I'm not really... I think that just adds a couple Nemesis fights, and I'd like more hunting. I really like the Flower Knight. He has the best bow that I like in the game. The Dung Beetle Knight lets you calcify the Zabato, so I really like that as well. But I fight these two so often in my home campaigns that I think I'm going to leave them out just for something different. Tempted to go Gorm, but again, he's one of the ones that I fight a lot. I might just go with these two in the base. Maybe I'll add the Dragon King or Sunstalker with them. And I mean, Manhunter, Slenderman. Slenderman I add almost everything. He replaces the Kingsman, and I kind of like his fight better, but I'll keep the Kingsman in just because I don't fight him that often. And Manhunter, again, is going to add more Nemesis fights. I don't really want that. So, Sunstalker or Dragon King, I'm going to add one of them. Let's go Sunstalker. I'm floating over top of that. Yeah, I think so. Alright, so We're going to add Spider Cleaves, Lion God, Sunstalker to our hunts. They'll show up later in the campaign. Let's go ahead and begin this. It's going to say, do you want to start a new campaign? Which we do, because we haven't done anything yet. It's just going to reset everything. And again, that starting story is always the same. You always start with a level 1 lion. Once we go to hunt it, it'll pop up. You're always going to start with 2 men, 2 women. You're going to start with a founder stone and a cloth on each person. Fist and tooth for a weapon as well. In the actual game, this is printed on the board. It's just really nice how they have this set up so you don't have to worry too much about other things. And you can just hold Alt to zoom in on it. That's the bonus. Alright, I think we're good to actually go into the hunt. Or, well, we don't hunt it, to go right into our showdown here. So I just click on Showdown. We're going to scroll to the bottom, choose the White Lion, Prologue, Begin. It's going to set up the board here. Now, it will set up the AI and the hit locations. Do not shuffle these with the Prologue. There's a key card on top of each of them. It's going to start with a claw, and we know the strange hand is going to be on top of here. Which, whenever I go into the strategy of how I'm going to fight this thing, you'll see that come into place. You don't have to start in these locations. I like to start off to the side because there's more room this way than there is this way. I don't want to be cornered with a lion. You do start 6 spaces away, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll just put 2 of them 6 away. I like to have 2 of them directly with the lion, the other 2 into nice flanking positions. There are no diagonals in this game, so when you're counting from stuff, you just go down, so it's 5, 6. And then I'm going to move him twice. And this one here again is going to go twice, so it'll be like this. And let's just see who I want to put where, actually. I'm going to replace these 2. That way, because Red's going to start with a monster controller. I'm going to play this as if it was 4 people playing. Normally, if you're playing solo, you don't get the insanity for targeting yourself, but I'm just going to pretend whoever has the monster controller is the monster controller. So if they choose themselves as a target, they're going to gain insanity, which is protection against your brain. So the monster always starts first. So we're going to draw the first AI card. We know it's Claw because of how this is set up. So we look at the target first. Closest threat facing in range. Well, they're all facing. One thing I did change before I started this, I made the line face this way, just so that it would go after the red. So closest threat facing in range. You see the little arrow there between the, zoom in on this way so I can put my little pointer. So this little arrow right here, that's where players can take like a break action. So if it targets somebody, if you had like a dash to move again or a surge to attack again, you could do it at that point. And now it's going to do its attack. So it's speed 2, it's how many dice it rolls. Accuracy is what it needs to roll, so it needs to roll 2 or better on a die. So it only misses on a 1. For each hit, it does a damage, and it's going to do it to a random location. Since red is being targeted, and they are the monster controller, they're going to gain 1 insanity. Alright, so it's going to move up here. This mod has highlighted so that you can see where the creature can move, which is nice. It does that for players too. It gives you like the range of movement. Now this guy couldn't get to here because the line's blocking his path. So you still have to count out the spaces to see exactly where it can land. Alright. So it's going to attack him twice. I'm just going to use his own dice for it. So he gets 2 dice. I rolled them. And we got 2 5s. Those are both hits. So we're going to take these location dice here. I actually got to clone or copy a couple of these. Let's just paste a few of them. Just so we have access to them elsewhere. Okay. So let's see where I get hit. Waist and foot. So you'll notice I have this cloth, which is a 1 protection against waist. That's what this 1 armor up here is. So the 1 hit on the waist. Oops, I didn't mean to change that to 11. So it wasn't 1. 1 hit on the waist will drop that to a 0. For the legs, I don't have anything there, so it's going to be a light wound. Now it's the player's turn. I know that the strange hand is on top of here, on top of the hit location, so I know that I want to critically hit it, because that's going to give me a chance to do something. Oh, we need to name our people so we can get some survival. Alright, so let's see. So we have, what are the colors and who's what? So white is male, Red is male, the other two are female. Okay, so we have the guy over here. So male, female, female, male. When you first name a survivor, they automatically will get 1 survival. That's just part of the game. So whenever you have a name, you're more important. So let's do like we'll have this guy will be Jerry. We'll do Jerry. We'll do Jill. We'll do Gina and Bob. Let's choose names that we're not going to get attached to. I'm going to choose Green here. I'm going to have her be my martial artist, basically, specializing in Fist and Tooth. Just from plays, I know that I want to get this weapon proficiency maxed out with Fist and Tooth because that's going to help out the entire settlement. So I'm going to choose her to throw her stone. So she's going to throw this, which is an auto crit. So if we look at it, spend an action to sling the stone from anywhere on the board. Archive this card. Archive means it's out of the game. And for 1 automatic hit that inflicts a critical wound. So I'm going to delete this card. It's gone now. We're going to grab, if I can move to the right place, this. It's going to flip up. So we see that it's a critical hit. You hack off the monster's hand. Spend 1 survival to treasure this mode. Gain +1 permanent strength and persistent injury lost hand. So this will go up here because it's a persistent injury. So it's going to affect other cards. Any card that has lost hand on it will do whatever this is. I don't think the Prologue Lion has anything with lost hand though. However, the important thing is if I spend a survival, I get a permanent +1 strength, which I'm definitely doing. So she'll spend her 1 survival, and then her strength down here goes permanently to +1. Strength is how you wound things generally. And since I did crit it, I wounded it, I take 1 of the AI cards and it goes directly to the wound stack. You kill the creature after it's out of AI cards, and you hit it 1 more time. When it's out of AI cards, it can only do the basic attack. Alright, so green is done. Do I want to move them? I think I will. I'll move them to like, let's go, I don't know where I want to put them. Maybe, you know what, I'll leave them where they were. They're fine. So I'm going to hit the little snooze thing. They're done. Let's go ahead and take blue here. Gina's going to move around the back. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a 5 movement on our sheets. So if you look, each character is going to have a 5 movement. And if we look at the little stats here, they have the good thing about this is we don't have to look at our sheets constantly. So I can see I rolled 2 dice if I do either one of these. So I'm going to do the Founding Stone, 2 dice. I hit on 7+. Since I'm in its flank, I'm in the blind spot, I hit on 6s. So I'm going to hit on 6s, and I'm going to wound if I roll at least a 5. Because this creature has a toughness of 6, I believe, for the prologue. So if we look at this, the toughness is 6. So it's movement 6, toughness 6, has a custom deck, no extra speed, no extra damage. So I'm going to take these 2, we're going to roll them. And again, to hit it, I need 6s because I'm in the flank. Alright, both hit. So I'm going to grab 2 of these hit locations and flip them up. Alright, so neither one have a negative effect on the top. I'm going to attempt this one first. So you always get to choose your order, unless it says first strike on them. So this one first, I roll it. Alright, so it wasn't a 5. I need a 5 to wound it. So that just gets discarded. I missed. Now we're going to do this one. Oh, almost a crit. So 6 is a hit, but it's not a crit. So a hit, we'll take one of these over, and then we discard. Blue is now done. Let's take red and do the same. So we run back to the flank. We're going to attack twice, same weapon. It's Founding Stone. I hit on 6s because I'm in the flank. 2 hits again. 1, 2. Alright, so on this one, if I wound it, I'm going to get the priority token, which means it's going to come after me. This one has no negative effects, so I'm going to go on this one first. So let's roll the wound this. Need a 5. Got a 9, so that is a wound. There's another one around. And now this one. So if I wound this one, I'm the next target for the lion, no matter what. Oh, I missed it. I got a 1. So, no target for me. And then the white, I'll just move up 1, and we'll attack with that. Same weapon. So, 1 hit, because remember I need 7s, right? Founding stone is normally a 7 plus. So the middle number is what I'm rolling for. Top number is the number of dice. The middle number is what I need to roll. The bottom one is what I add to wound. So I got 1 hit. So if I fail to hit this, it's going to turn and attack me. Alright. So, again, I got 1 hit. What I need to wound it now is I need a 5, because the toughness of this creature is a 6, and I have a +1, as you can see on our stone. The bottom number is my plus. I have no extra strength to add to that. So we need a 5. Oh, and I missed. So the failure ability is going to happen. So it's going to do its basic action. So we look up here at the basic action. Basic action, it's going to ignore the target because it said it does a basic action against me. So it's going to do 2 speed plus 2 accuracy for 1 damage. So it's going to turn to face me, and then it's going to roll to attack me. So we'll just use these dice. Hits on 2s. Only misses on 1. So 2 hits. Oops, let me actually roll these. There we go. Oh, 1 in the head and 1 in the hand. So I could dodge one of these. So if I spend a survival, I can dodge a hit. I'm tempted to dodge the head, and I think I am. So I'm going to use 1 survival to not get hit in the head. I'm going to take 1 light on my body. Now it's its turn. So it's going to draw one of its cards. Power SWAT, closest threat. So it's going to be the guy that's right in front of it. So it's going to hit and do a knockback 6. So if it damages me at all, it's going to do 2 damage to wherever it hits also. Hits on a 2+, so a single die. So roll a 1 is what I want. Not a 1. So it hits me. Let's see where it hits me. In the legs. Oof. So it's a regular hit and a heavy hit. Heavy hit knocks you over. So my character gets knocked over. And then it said knockback, right? So target is moved directly away 6 spaces in a straight line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again I am knocked over. And I got knocked over because I got a heavy wound. So that means I'm going to lose my next turn with this character. So now we're going to, after that happened, actually we should have hit next turn before that happened. The monster goes first, remember. So green was actually the monster controller for that one. It didn't target green, so they didn't get any insanity. Alright, now it's our turn. Well, Bob can't do anything, so I'm just going to hit the little Z on them. So let's take the green here and move to the flank. Now, green doesn't have a founding stone anymore, so you'll notice they hit on 8s. Now, since they're in the flank, they're going to hit on 7s. They have a +1. Let's go ahead and see what we got. 2 hits. That is nice. Scared of the trap card, and there it is. Okay, so anytime you draw the trap, all other cards go away, and this happens. The lion's trap isn't that bad. It dooms you, which means you can't dodge any of the attacks. It's just going to turn and attack you. It's going to do a standard attack, and that's all that happens. It'll reshuffle the entire hit location deck. So it's going to turn around, and it's going to roll 2 attacks against green. Again, both hit. Just remember, it hits on everything but a 1. We don't have any type of protection. Ooh, body, and I can't dodge them. So, body, that's gonna, as a heavy hit on the body for green, it's gonna knock them over. So that's kind of rough. Now, since I got knocked over on my own turn, I'll still get to stand up with the next monster's turn. So, both green and white will get to stand up after this fight's over. Alright, so red's going to move to the flank. So green is done. And again, like I said, that's going to reshuffle this deck. Alright, so red moves to the flank. They're going to attack from there. They're using the founding stone. So they hit on 6s from the flank. And 1 hit. So if it wounds, if we had understanding, we get something, we don't. So it's just going to be whatever happens. So let's roll this die for it. 5 is exactly what we need. Remember, 5 plus 1 is 6. The Prologue Lion is fairly weak compared to everything else you fight in the game. So it is good that we're hitting. I wish we were getting more criticals, though. I want to carve pieces off this thing to get a good start. Alright, so red is done. It's blue's turn. So blue will also move to the flank. And same thing, bounding stone attack. Just like slashing at it. 1 hit. If we fail, it runs forward. Okay. Need a 5. A 1 will not do it. And that's not good. He's going to perform grab, right? Yep. And he suffers, any person in front of it gets grabbed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move up. Goes up to there. And it brings this person with it. And they're going to take 1 damage, and let's see where they take the damage to. To the head. Ow. Dragged us by the head. Alright. That's not fun. Let's see what the monster has to say about that. So next turn. Closest threat facing. Now, a person that's knocked over is not a threat. So these are 2 threats. They're the closest threats. It is blue's turn, so blue will target themselves, which will give them an insanity. Oops, didn't mean to knock him over. He'd be able to get to us. So he moves down to us, so he's going to attack blue. So we get both of those rolling. Well, a 9 and a 10 is definitely going to do it. So hand and foot. So 1 on the hand, 1 on the foot. Could have been worse. Anything else happen after hit? Oh, this always hits the head. Oh, no, it's only 1 die. Okay, I rolled too many dice. So it would be, let me take that off. It would be just 1 on the head, which would knock him over. Because it's a single die and I hit with both, so it didn't make a difference. Alright, if we knocked its jaw off, it wouldn't have done that. But we knocked its hand off. Alright, everybody except for blue gets to stand up. And these guys can't even get to the lion, so I just got to close in distance here. Move here, maybe. Red can get to the flank. So red will attack it from the flank. Oh, 1 hit. Almost 2. 1 hit in the flank. If it fails, it's going to run forward and grab again. It's going to take blue for a ride. Don't fail. I need a 5. Oh, I failed. Alright, so it's going to move forward. So it runs the whole way up here. I probably shouldn't have moved white. White could have got there afterwards. Well, too late. I already moved them. I should have waited. Alright. Well, it's not looking good. Oh, did I roll this already? I don't remember. Let me roll for damage. So waste on blue. So mine's for waste. Oh, next turn. That was all of us. Alright. White is the monster controller. This is its last AI card. Enraged. When it comes into play, another card's going to be drawn. While it's enraged, it does 1 extra damage. So now it's going to do 2 damage instead of just 1 with all of its attacks. And also, since this is a trait, it stays in play. I will go and play when somebody is killed or dismembered. So if it rips an arm off or something or kills one of us, then it's going to go away. Other than that, it's going to stay in play. It only has 4 more life, 3 cards plus 1. Because that card is counted outside of the deck at this point. So it is going to claw. Luckily, it's only a claw. Alright, so it's going to go after white because... So it's going to turn, move, turn to attack. This is going to hurt a lot. Oh, it almost missed. I needed a miss. Does 2 damage with each of these attacks. 2 to the waist, 2 to the body. So they're going to have to roll on the body table. So they have one roll on the body. So we come over here because it went past their heavy. And they roll once on here. Oh, one is not a good roll there. Instant death. Sends a bone fragment directly into your heart, killing you instantly. No more white. It killed somebody, so that's going to discard that mood. Which gives it another health, essentially. Alright. Gets to stand up. Oh, that wasn't good. And this is technically Red's turn. Where's mine? There we go. Okay. So, let me mark that white is dead. So we'll go here, click on dead, and just send them away so they don't show up on our little chart here anymore. Alright, blue will go to the flank and attack. That is no hits. Missed completely. Red could move up and attack. But if red moves back 2 spaces, it can't reach us. And it can't see blue. So I could do this. I'll move to here. I'm going to kind of make it come after us. Draws its next AI card. Closest threat facing. That would be, oh, it's next turn. So this will be green's turn. So green's going to choose himself to get insanity. And then it's going to move to go attack green. Doesn't reach. It has to stop. Alright, our turn. So let's take red first and go to here. And we'll attack. Now we need 7s for this. Neither of those are 7. So green's going to go over here and attack. And again, I did highlight back here, but I have to go around it. I didn't have enough movement to get around it. I need 8s because, remember, green doesn't have their stone anymore. They're just punching. And that's a miss. Oof, this turns a bust. Let's move to like there. Alright, let's see what happens. Next turn. We got the power SWAT. This is the one that knocks somebody backwards. So closest threat facing in range, we have equal red and green. Red has the most health right now, so let's attack red. So 2 attacks against red. Wait, is this a 2 attack or a 1 attack? Where's the card? It's only 1. So let's roll just 1. Okay, it does hit. Hits the body. Oh, back 6. It doesn't say bash on the card, so it doesn't knock them over. If it said bash, that would knock over also, and we didn't hit a heavy checkbox, so it didn't knock over from that. Alright, green's going to go first, because they're already in the flank. So green needs 7s because they're in the flank. Ooh, 2 hits. That's very nice. Hopefully they don't get the trap a second time. Alright. Both of these have failures, though. This one will knock me down. This will give it brain damage. So let's do this one first. So we're going to do the brain damage one first. And it is a failure. So it's going to roll... oh, it knocks me off. Let's see, either one of these. If I failed, I'm going to maybe lose stuff. Alright, so I'm going to get 1 brain damage. So it lowers the insanity. Oh, sorry, this is green. Lowers the insanity. And then I get 1 roll. So we got 4. I think we need 5. Yeah, we need 5. Ooh, tough breaks. It's gonna... Or no. This is for this roll, not that. It did need 4. So I'm going to suffer 1 brain damage on green. This checks that box. And I'm going to get knocked down. So green will move, and then, oops, I knocked the wrong person. Blue's going to go up to theirs. And I guess I just attack the flank with this. I was debating whether I wanted to use the Fist and Tooth or the Stone. Fist and Tooth, the bonus of this is it has +1 luck, which means you crit on a 9 or 10. That higher crit rate's almost worth it. It's just one less that you need to hit it than the Fist and Tooth. Well, let's go ahead and Fist and Tooth it though. Or yeah, I'm not. I mean, Founded Stone it. So 2 hits. Kind of wish I did Fist and Tooth now, but that's fine. Okay, so when there's a choice between something that has a reaction and one doesn't, I always do the non-reaction. 6, that's a wound. Alright, since we need more wounds, we shuffle this up. One of those go away. And it's not a crit though, so next one. Or we're over here, this one. Not a wound. There's a failure on that one too, so basic attack. Alright, so we roll these 2 against. Oof. Let's see where it hits. Hands and body. At least it's not the head. Okay, that's going to end that turn. Next turn is not white. Next turn. Alright, red's turn. What's the lion going to do? Should be getting a lot more predictable at this point. Alright, 1 attack, going after the head, the closest person, which is going to be blue. Just didn't know if there's anything. I guess I could dodge it if it hits. So that's probably what I'll do. Yeah, I'm just going to use the survival and dodge it. You would normally flip these over, but we only have 1 survival, so it doesn't matter. Later on, we'll have more. Alright, so green will get to stand up because they fell during the other turn. So I'm going to, actually let's move blue first. Let's run around to the flank. Just in case, this thing runs forward an awful lot. And I don't want to have anybody in front of it that can get grabbed. So rolling. Ooh, perfect hit and a 6. Both hit. Let me go ahead and group some of these cards and put them back in the deck because they will matter later. So 2 hits. We'll do the non-reaction first, as always. Ooh, a crit. Alright, critical hit. Bruise White Lion's femur, crippling its graceful movement. Gets a -1 movement token and gain a random White Lion resource. So the resource is really good. That's what I really want. So we found a great cat bone. It's going to get a -1 movement token. So the tokens are all double-sided, so you just can grab one and flip it and put it on the token spots. It's automatically going to calculate the information. Alright, that's a good start. It's also a damage, so we get one of those. And we still have another one to attack. So let's see what we get. So on this one, 2 will not do it. Failure with basic action, so it's going to turn and attack. Two dice. Both hit. Not surprised. So we got waist and foot on blue. Wow, they're teetering on the edge of every one of these. Let's move green into position here. They're going to attack the flank. They get +1 to hit. And a 1 and a 2 just won't do it. It's not going to cut it. Red can't quite get there, so we'll move to like there. Alright, next turn. Lion's turn. It's going to attack. Oops, wrong card. Let's shuffle that back up. This one. Oops, wrong button. Wrong everything. It's going to do claw. So closest target facing in range. That's going to be blue. So 2 dice against blue. Hits on 2s. A 10 and 9 again. Man, I'm just not getting lucky with these 2s. Arm and a leg. Alright, blue, how you doing? Arm and a leg. That's going to knock him over. 2 heavy wounds. It is player turn. So, did blue fall down during the lion's turn or during his turn? It's the lion's turn, so he gets to stand up. Okay, so green's going to try to punch first, because punch first, ask questions later. Ooh, a 7 and a 4. Normally you'd only have an 8 with this and 2, but 7, that is a bonus that you can get behind. So we're going to shuffle this. So the monster's going to do Chomp. It's going to attack its Headhunter. It's going to be against blue. It gets 1 die, and it goes right for the head. And that's unfortunate because they already have a wound on their head. But they can dodge it. No, they have no survival. Oh, this is going to be a horrible start. But let's see what happens. Miss, 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 please miss. And that's not a miss. So they're going to have to go roll on the head chart. This could be really bad. So rolling for head. 5. Intracranial hemorrhage. You can no longer use or gain survival, so they're basically just not worthwhile anything anymore. So the good thing about this mod is they have these ability cards here. I thought they have the injuries in here. Am I looking at the wrong deck? Yep, I'm looking at the wrong deck. So they made 2 separate decks. These decks don't. This deck doesn't exist, and these decks don't exist. Put in here. Okay, so no, it's intestinal. There it is. Okay. So I could just take these out, and then that's out of the deck. But if I hit reset, it'll be another one in there. So I just take this, and I place it on blue's deck down here. Impairments. So can't use survival anymore, can't gain it. And it's a one-time permanent thing. I believe it said I get bleeding token also, right? Yep, gain 1 bleeding token. So bleeding tokens, if you ever get 5 of them, you're dead. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I do get knocked over because that was past my severe injuries. Alright, it's our turn again. Green's just going to go ahead and punch it in the butt. Because why not try? 1 hit. Remember, I hit on 7s normal, or 8s normally, so 7s in the flank. Alright, so come on, crit, because I crit on 9s with the Fist and Tooth. A 1 will not crit. Not getting good luck here. Alright, red's just going to move up here and attack. So, let's see what we get. 1 hit. If I fail, it runs forward. That'd be bad. It'll drag blue off. Alright, let's see. So 1 hit. Go roll in here. Red needs a 5 to wound. 9 will wound. It's not going to crit though, because remember, that's not the Fist and Tooth. Now, unfortunately, Chomp is the only card it has left, so it's going to be going after heads. Well, red can take it. Red still has survival also. Okay. Well, red, remember, red's the first one it sees, because it won't go after non-threats. Closest threat facing. So this is next turn. So closest threat facing is going to turn towards red. And attack. So it only gets 1, because that's the headhunter. Roll 1. Come on. Nope. Alright, I'm dodging it with red. Oops. Dodge. And now it's our turn again. Take green and move to the flank here. Go ahead and try to punch it. Oh, blue should stand up at the end of that turn also. So we do have blue back this turn. Only one hit. Remember, punches hit on 8, so the 6 doesn't hit. Alright, if I fail, it's going to attack me. So, since I wound on a 5 and not 6, or yeah, and not a 6 because I got that +1 strength. Remember at the beginning of the match? So, oh, a crit. That is nice. So remember, it does have one more life left. So with a crit, Torn Muscle, discard one mood. Currently in play, doesn't have any moods, but it's just knocked down. Anytime a monster is knocked down, you can hit it on 3s and ignores reactions. It'll still do the trap though, but that's gonna help us hit it. I'm gonna move red out from in front of it because it still is facing that way. But now I hit on 3s, so red's gonna attack. One hit because a 1 won't hit. Glorious Mane. I can't actually injure it with this card, but if I critically hit it, I get a resource. Here's the hope for a crit. Not a crit. It just goes away. Alright, green will just attack from where they are. Or no, green already went. Blue will attack from where they are. I should probably mark people off here. So red went, green went. Blue attacks from where they are. Oh, 2 hits. Remember, I hit on 3s. That's probably a trap. Nope, no trap. Alright, remember, it ignores reaction, so I'm just going to look and see what can give me a resource if I crit on. This one gives me a resource, so I'm going to try that one first. Because one more wound kills this thing. Okay, I wounded it on 5s. Yes, I got a crit. That's another... So, well, it would do this, and this would be persistent, but it's going to give me a random white line resource, and that's what was important, because now I kill it. So let me go ahead and shuffle this, pull another resource. Alright, so we got these two. Now, when we kill the lion for the first time, and pretty much anytime you fight a level 1 as well, we're going to get 4 lion resources. 2, 3, 4. We got some good ones, too. And we get 4 basic resources. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a bad bad haul in any which way. Alright, so we're going to save it up here. I'll come back to this and we'll do the settlement phase next, and then we'll start into our next hunt, and we'll do a full round the next time we come back to it. So hopefully you enjoyed the playthrough. I know I kind of paused a little bit here and there. Maybe I'll cut that out and go back through as I was trying to think of what to do, because I kind of had a turn for the worse once we lost the person. I got lost in thinking. Alright, so I will see everybody on the next one.